All right. Good evening, students. I am very happy to continue being with you here. And well, today it's Friday. I guess that many of you are having plans for going out tonight. So of course, we have the spirit of having fun as well because it's Friday. And today, very good. For us, this is the case that we're going to practice for the speaking, excuse me, for the writing section. And the writing section, it's also very fun to practice. Okay, um, it's super entertaining because we're going to just practice and practice and practice. And actually, today we're going to begin to have a new modality here in the class because I'm going to be dividing you into some little groups so that you can work collaborating with one of your classmates. Okay, you're going to collaborate with one of your classmates in order to present to me an essay, and of course we're going to try to find which of you or which of the teams that I'm going to create right now is able to prepare and to write down the best essay. Okay, so please help me with your spirit of competition too, because this is going to be super interesting. Okay, so as I say, what we're going to do today, it's simply we are going to, first of all, as you remind, yesterday we saw all the theoretical aspects of the writing section. We discovered that the first thing we're going to receive is a written passage, and we're going to have to read that material. It's going to be a more or less long article. You're going to have 3 minutes to read it completely, and after you do that, you're going to receive a talk or a lecture discussing exactly the same academic subject. Okay, you have to take notes on both of these materials, and then you're going to have 20 minutes to write down an essay of at least 150 words. Okay, so 150 words the minimum. And if you can write something about, I don't know, 200 words or 250 words and even above that, wonderful. It's going to be incredible. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is, of course, we're going to listen to the well, read and listen to the material, and then we're going to split the class into two different groups. And as I say, you're going to be collaborating with your partner. I'm going to explain that a little bit later. But the first thing we're going to do is basically receive the information and the data presented in our materials. Okay, so in order to do that, we're going to go to our Magush account, and we are going to choose the writing practice. Okay. All right, well, writing, and this is the integrated essay. Okay, so let's put this one, answer and answer in question. Okay, let's go. Let's go with this too. Here. Okay, so please, all of you, I'm going to send this to you. I'm gonna paste it in the chat box. Okay, and I want you to read it, please. You're gonna have your 3 minutes. Okay, so please read it. And of course, you are going to be able to have it, available to you to read it again. Maybe you need to do it again. You need to, maybe remind some little details. But as you know, this is going to be available for you to read throughout the entire task. Okay, so don't worry if you're not able to maybe catch all the details and stuff like that. Doesn't matter, because as I say, we're going to be anyways. What is happening here? Okay, you're going to have it available. Okay, I think doesn't paste because it's too long. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. I'm going to paste this to our WhatsApp group. Okay, so I'm going to paste it here. Is all right. Risk is risk. Yes, perfect. So go to our WhatsApp group, please. I'm sending this to. Oh, I sent it to the wrong one. Huh. Okay, I'm going to eliminate this thing. Okay, wonderful. Here and here. So there you have. Please then go to WhatsApp. Receive, please, the passage that I have pasted there. And now we're going to have our 3 minutes to read it. Okay, and after that, we're going to listen to the material too. So let's go. Maybe you want to paste it as well to a Word document so you can have the letters a little bit bigger, and then you can read, right, more comfortably as you want. So here. Okay. 3 minutes. Okay, so please begin reading this passage, the one that I have sent to the WhatsApp group for those who just got into. Read the passage. You're going to have 3 minutes to do so. Take your notes on it. Try to catch the most important details, especially the arguments presented in this particular article. And then we're going to listen to the talk on the same topic. Okay, let's go. All right. The time's up. And now, please, let's listen together to the lecture on the same topic, okay? Please take your notes too. Try to apply all the recommendations that I gave you in the last classes.
Now listen to part of a lecture on the topic you just read about.
Okay, so your textbook talks about all the great things the euro has done for the Eurozone. Stabilizing prices, promoting international trade and worker mobility. The thing is, the reading is a little, outdated. It was written just after the Eurozone was created. The writer was really making some optimistic predictions, talking about what people assumed the euro would do. Today we know a lot more about the actual effects of the euro. First, let's look at price stability. Sure, if Eurozone countries only traded with each other, the euro would keep prices stable. But the Eurozone countries don't just trade with each other. We live in a global economy where everyone trades with everyone else. Countries that use the euro trade with lots of nations that have other currencies, like the UK, China, Brazil, America. All of these trade partners have different currencies that can change value, and this will change the prices of imports for Eurozone customers. But you might be thinking, What about that second point? Wouldn't one currency promote international trade between the countries that use it? It makes sense, but here's the issue. A recent study shows that Eurozone countries have not seen any notable changes in how much they import and export among one another. The reason for this is probably that they were already trading with each other a lot before the euro. Nobody was holding back in the first place. At best, uh, the euro helps them trade as they had been a little more easily. That brings us to worker mobility. The numbers on worker mobility match the stats for international trade. Workers aren't migrating to new countries in the Eurozone any more or any less as a result of the euro. And that makes sense. Really, it's relaxed immigration laws, not shared currency, that gives workers so much mobility in the European Union. So as long as people can immigrate, they will. And that comes down to legislation, not currency.
Okay, wonderful. So now, as I was saying, we're gonna have some specific, well, some new modalities here. Okay, so what we're gonna do now, before we write the essays, you're not gonna do it alone. Okay, for this part, I want you to collaborate with a partner and try to write down this essay in teams. Okay, so what are we gonna do first? I'm going to create here a document. I'm gonna go to Google Docs. Okay, and we're gonna use shared documents. Okay, so let's go to is any of you not right now sat before a computer? I'm assuming that every single one of you is before a computer right now. It's using the computer. Even if you're not, you can also write down your essay through your cell phone, of course. But as I told you yesterday, it's very important for us to practice with a keyboard, and also not just with a keyboard, right? But to also write down and type our responses, our essays, with the American keyboard. Okay, so this is going to be a team one essay. We're going to compose a team right now. So this is going to be the team one essay. And okay, so perfect, yes. M is going to be for everybody and editors. Okay, wonderful. And I'm going to create another one, which is going to be for the team two. They're just two teams right now. Okay, so go to Google Docs. Second. Okay, and this is going to be team two essay. Team two essay. Okay, wonderful. Yes. Okay. So now, yes and yes. Wonderful. Okay, so now what I'm going to do now is simply I'm going to divide the class, okay, into two different groups. Okay, there are going to be couples here. That is to say, you're gonna work in groups of two people or of two persons. And as I say, what you're going to do is to collaborate. Okay, how are you going to collaborate between each other? I'm gonna let to you to decide who is going to write down the introduction and who's going to write down maybe the introduction on the first point of the essay, because remind, the template, it's simply this, right? Let's go to our PowerPoint presentation, the template, but this is not the one. Okay, here, the template, it's simply this, right? If you remind, but it's not here, it's in Word. What do you think of mine? Okay, here. So the template, it's the following. Okay, you simply have to write down your introduction, your first point, your second, and your third point, right? So maybe I'm going to let you, up to you, if you want to, I mean, who is going to write down the introduction and the first point, maybe, and who's going to write down the second and the third point, okay? That you're going to be able to decide that. So I'm going to write out right now, create the, okay, I'm going to create the groups automatically, okay? I'm not going to choose who is doing so or who's not. Let me do that. Okay, just give me a second here. I'm going to stop sharing my screen for a while. Here. Okay, just give me a second. I'm sorry, I don't know what is happening. I wanted to separate you in this little groups. Okay, so until I do that, it doesn't matter. I'm just simply going to choose the groups on my own. And for the second task or for the second time we're going to practice, I'm going to be able to do that. Okay, so please, the groups are going to be as follows. Carlos, you're going to work with Miguel, and Laura, you're going to work with Marinas. Okay, we're going to have men and women today. Okay, wonderful. So for Carlos and for Miguel, you're going to have here, I'm sharing with you, okay, Carlos and Miguel, right now to the WhatsApp group and sharing. You're going to be the team number 1. So go to our WhatsApp group and please get into this document that I'm sending right now, this shared document. Okay, so you're going to be able, of course, to see what the other person is doing. And of course, given that you're not going to be able to talk, I'm going to tell, or I'm going to tell you what exactly you have to do. Okay, so Carlos, tell me, excuse me, or listen to me. You're going to write down the introduction and the first point. Okay, you're going to write down the introduction and the first point. And you, Miguel, you're going to write down the second and the third point. Okay, is it clear? Miguel, you're going to write down the second and the third point of the essay. Okay, Carlos, you're going to write down the first and the second point of the essay. Okay, that is to say the introduction and the first point. Okay, and Miguel, the second and the third point of the essay. Okay, and for the girls, I'm also sending right now the link to the document 2 for the group 2. Okay, so get into that one. This is, I'm going to write down. Okay, so the second one is for the girls. There you have. Okay, so please get into your documents. I want you to see that you're able to write down here. Okay, so the thing that you're, okay, it's fine here and here too. Okay, wonderful. So as you see, okay, as I said, you're gonna write down your essay. Okay, so in this case for the girls, what you're going to do is, for example, Laura, you're going to do the introduction and you're going to do the first one, and Marinas, you're going to do the second and the third point of the essay. Okay, is it clear? Does somebody have questions of what to do, or I can solve this? Anything, or did you understand what you have to do today?
It's clear, teacher.
All right. What about you, please? I need everybody to tell me that you're understanding. Carlos, Marines, Miguel, did you understand what you have to do?
Yes, I did.
Yes, teacher.
Okay.
Yes.
Wonderful. Marines, what about you? You understood? All right, wonderful. So please begin to write down your essay, okay? Of course, the first person, that is the one who is going to write down the introduction, that is going to be at the beginning of the document, right? And the other one, try to reserve for you some space and try to write down secondly and continue, right? Okay, so I'm gonna give you your in this case, you're just gonna have 10 minutes because I assume that each of you is going to take 10 minutes in order to write down that. So please begin to write down your essays now. And I'm gonna try to solve the other thing. Okay, I'm taking your time, okay? By the way, don't worry about that. I'm gonna tell you when you have 5 remaining minutes and stuff like that. And of course, I'm going to review your essays later, okay? So over here. If any of you have any question during the process, please tell me, okay? I'm gonna be here.
Teacher, what was my group name? On
Excuse me?
what was my group name? I'm sorry.
Second
I
team.
did.
You're the second. Team 2 is the
Okay,
second
okay.
link that I sent. Yeah, the second. The girls are the second team. Okay, you have 5 remaining minutes and seconds. So hurry up. All right, for what I can see, it's very equal, or very even. Remember, we're competing. All right, we are about to finish. We just have 1 minute remaining. And remind that this one, the first one that we're practicing right now, it's for fun. Make sure you play some music so you can go. All right. Just 1 final minute. I hope you enjoy the music. All right, 10 seconds. That's it. Okay, wonderful. Thank you very much. Okay, time's up. Stop writing. I'm sorry. I guess that you had your headphones on and you got like a high volume, right? I'm sorry. Okay, wonderful. Okay, we are done. Okay. So I'm going to now please look at my screen, stop writing. I'm going to correct, I'm going to try to give you some commentaries on what you have done. Okay, so please, I'm going to begin with the girls. Okay, begin with the girls, and let's see what they have done. All right, so we have the team 2 essay, and let's go. Okay, so it says the reading extract leads up with the high price about converting money between different national currency. Okay, due to this struggle process, marketplaces become unstable and international trades scourages. Okay. Here, for example, in this part, the scourages, I would say that I'm gonna hear a commentary. For example, in this part here, for example, here, marketplaces become stable and international trades discourage. In this case, well, what it would be correct would be are discouraged, right? That is to say, son desanimados are discouraged. That is to say, international trades are discouraged, right? That would be the idea, because if you're saying marketplaces become stable and international trades are discouraged, right? Not discourages, because traits are not a person, right? Just person or people can be discouraged. But nevertheless, if you're going to add some agency to this expression, you have to say it like that, are discouraged. But very good. Nonetheless, they hear the word, nonetheless, it's, an E here is lacking, but so it's okay nevertheless. Nonetheless, in the lecture, it is said that money, mobility, and that was it. Okay. Okay, it's fine. It's not completed, but it's okay. I understand. It's the first essay you're writing. It's fine. I was even worse than that because
I'm
this is
sorry.
good actually. I mean, this is good.
I mean,
I
my take, my nose was in disorder, so I could understand my.
okay.
That's what I
No,
didn't
it's
write.
okay. Yeah, don't worry. It's fine. So I mean, this is okay. Honestly, when I began writing, as I told you, I was not even able to write down like 50 words. So it's just very good actually. You understand? Okay, so firstly, in the reading passage, it is claimed that many countries in Europe have created a form of money in order to sort out this kind of problems. Very good. Wonderful sentence. Here comes the arrow. It brings more benefits to the Eurozone for keeping more stable prices. Wonderful. Until that, I mean, if you had continued there, it would have been incredible. But this is very good. I mean, actually, the use of semicolon here, I would say it's accurate to sort of this kind of problems. And 2 points, here comes the arrow. It brings more benefits to the Eurozone for keeping more stable prices. Very good. Very good. Okay, so what about this? Secondly, in the reading passage, it is pointed out that the euro encourages international trade between Eurozone companies, as they do not have to take into consideration the possible loss of profit due to changes in the worth of the currency. Good. The reading passage claims notwithstanding, very good. In the professor's speech, okay, claims notwithstanding. Here, I wouldn't, okay, let me tell you here, for example, the reading passage claims notwithstanding the professor's speech, it is maintained that, okay, it's fine. Here, for example, here, I wouldn't have used this comma, but I would just have continued the idea, something like for example, this, notwithstanding that in the professor's speech, it is maintained that the international trade was not actually affected by the euro. Okay, and here, for example, as well, it would be a point. That is to say, a period. Okay, period, and you should have begun this sentence with capital letter, right? It just made it somewhere easy, but just for the countries that are part of the European Union, leaving aside the rest of the commercial transactions with the rest of the world. Very good sentence. I like that one. Very good. That is a very good idea. Very good. You're very accurate when describing that information. Good. Finally, in the reading selection, it is stated that the euro brought a lot of benefits for the Eurozone. On the other hand, in the presentation, it is mentioned that those benefits, here benefits, right? It's fine, but nonetheless, it's okay. Yeah, very good. And finally, not as useful as they were supposed to be in the first place. Wonderful, very good. Honestly, good. It's fine for the first essay. Okay, thank you very much. I think that you have understood the template, and that is what I wanted, or that is what I was intending. Okay, wonderful. Okay, what about this one? This is the team one essay. This is the boys essay. Okay, let's see. It says the reading extract leads off with the cost of converting money from one national currency. If any of you notice some error, please tell me. It's okay. If any of you notices some error, you want to tell me, and we're gonna correct. Okay, so it says the reading extract leads off with the cost of converting money from one national currency to another is very high, stating that the advent of the euro as the official money in a group of countries in Europe. Okay, good. Furthermore, I like the use of semicolons there. It's fine. Yeah, it's fine actually, because you say furthermore without capital letter and comma. Very well. Enjoy important benefits among these countries. Okay. Nonetheless, in the lecture, it is said that the actual currency it's not as it is stated in the reading extract. Very good. You are contrasting the ideas. Wonderful. But all different, likewise, provoking some here. For example, likewise, I think this is Carlos who wrote this. It would have been like a period. A period would have been more accurate here to finalize the sentence, but all different with a period, and then to continue with likewise. Because likewise here you are adding another idea. This is not the same, right? This is not part of the same reasoning stream, but this is a new addition. This is a new contention you're trying to make. Likewise, it's different, right? Provoking some issues. And then right here, we have been likewise, like this. Very good. Provoking some issues among the countries that enjoy this implementation. Wonderful. Firstly, in the reading passage, it is claimed that the euro keeps the original prices stable, as a result, not having issues with the rising in value in a specific country with the neighboring countries or vice versa. Exemplifying, all right? Exemplifying the importation. Oh, okay, wonderful. Nevertheless, in the presentation, it is noted that the actual facts of the euro as the official currency in Europe are outdated. Good, that is exactly what it said. As a matter of fact, okay, here again, try to use more periods. Okay, this is for all of you, dear students. Americans like things simple, okay? So one way to keep all our writing simple is by using a lot of periods, right? Because when we use periods, we're separating sentences, right? When we separate sentences, it is way easier to understand because it is one idea, it begins, it finishes, and then you have another idea. So you're always like knowing that you're going to read until a given part, then ends, and then you continue with another idea. Okay, so try to write down with a lot of periods. For example, in this case, as a matter of fact, would have been with a period. Okay, I'm going to as well highlight this. Okay, so as many periods as you can use, it's fine. I know why you do this, for example, Carlos, and for all the students, because in Spanish, this is very good, because in Spanish, we have super long sentences. Nonetheless, for Americans and for English specifically, for English, especially for Americans, right? Because, well, that is the way Americans are. But in English in general, the use of periods is way more common. I tell you this as somebody who likes to read a lot of literature in English. I love to read about economics, history, and philosophy. So the point is that you have a lot of periods in English when compared and contrasted with Spanish. Okay, so try to use as many periods as you can. And actually, it's going to be better for you. Why? Because when you use points, it is going to be super easy to keep up your grammar correctly, right? Because what is difficult sometimes is to know where to put a comma. But nonetheless, for example, this, you exactly know that as a matter of fact, it's super easy to identify as a sentence or as a phrase beginning a complex sentence, right? As a matter of fact, comma, the euros still haven't changed its prices. So you know exactly what to do here. So try to use more periods, because by using periods, you're going to have the chance to not only appease and make your work a lot easier, but you're also going to keep up a little bit more aligned to the American way of writing, okay? Which is, in this case, very much advantageous if you're taking this exam, but very good, okay? Secondly, in the reading passage, it is stated that, okay, this is the work of Miguel, let's see. Secondly, in the reading passage, it is stated that the stable prices on the Eurozone encourages international trade, okay? In this case, as you are talking about prices, it would have been encouraged, right? Because it is stated that the stable prices on the Eurozone encourage international trade, right? Because we're talking about prices, plural. But It happens, okay? But you're gonna have, of course, your 5 minutes to check it out at the end of the actual exam. Now it says in the professor's speech, it is maintained that the international, I think this is just a blunder, it's fine. International trade have not changed a lot since the integration of a multinational currency. Good. Finally, in the reading, it's pointed out that the hero's benefits also support individual freedom, because it promotes worker mobility. European workers had less opportunity to get jobs in neighboring countries. Due to the multinational currency and stable prices, Eurozone employers have more chances to succeed when working abroad. On the other hand, in the presentation, it is mentioned that there have not been important changes when talking about working mobility. The immigration laws have not changed a lot since the implementation of a unified currency within this group of countries. Oh, very good word, this one, right? Unified. Very good word. This is an advanced word, unified, because you have said united. We have the same, excuse me, but unify, it's way better, advanced word. In the presentation, it is stated that this problem is not related with this topic. There are more factors that leads to a real change like legislation. Wonderful. Okay, very good, dear students. Okay, so well, of course, maybe this is a good essay. This is a very good essay. This is good also. Maybe you didn't have enough time. Of course, this is your first essay, so it's understandable. Okay, so what I'm gonna do right now, what I'm going to do is the following. Please look at my screen. I'm going to recommend you right now, because I wanted to do this before we finalize our week. These are some websites I want you to go to for practicing your typing in order to improve your typing, okay? Look at my screen, you have there. There are a lot of websites that can be useful for you to practice your typing. For example, typingtest.com, senselab.org. Those are the two websites that I used when I was trying to improve my typing. It worked a lot. Why? Because it helps you, first of all, to know how many words are you able to write down in a minute. That is going to be a very good test in order to know how much to practice that specific task, that is to say typing. And it also offers you some exercises for you to practice how to utilize your fingers. And also it's going to help you to well, you know, to have fun while practicing. Of course, this is going to motivate you, I think, a little bit to practice more in your American keyboard. Okay, so go to those websites. They're going to help you to improve your typing. And as I say, practice a lot. This is a very this is not a boring whatsoever, because it's always new. You have a lot of different topics. So what I'm going to do right now, after we finish this class, I'm going to send again to our WhatsApp group a lot of material, free material for you to practice, a lot of topics for you to practice, okay? And I want, of course, you to practice with them, okay? I'm gonna send a video with a passage and also with a lecture. Receive them, practice with them, and that is going to be it. Also, it is way probable that on this weekend, I'm going to be sending you a message to the WhatsApp group too, so that you can send me an essay that you have written, of course, on one of these topics, on one of these tasks, and I'm going to review it. I mean, once you send it to me right through email, and I'm going to review it. I'm going to give you some commentaries, some feedbacks, and then I'm going to give it to you again. Okay, I'm going to send you another email with the review essay. Okay, so please try to be aware of that and wait for that specific email, okay, or that message that I'm going to send to the WhatsApp group. Any question? Anything that you want to say? Any commentary?
Teacher, when did you say that is the due date to present the essay?
Well, I mean, it depends, because this is something that it is part of the executive English services. So they are going to tell me. Maybe they are going to say like until next week. Maybe they are going to say until midweek, at the middle of the week. I'm gonna have you informed of that. Okay, don't worry. But you're gonna have enough time. That for sure. Okay. That's it with regard to this. Any other question? Any other thing? Okay, so save this, right? By the way, save this. Try to continue it when you are when you have some free time. And as I say, I'm going to send to you these materials so that you can practice. Okay. Wonderful. So now we have 5 extra minutes. Something else that I wanted to show you is this. Before we finish, there's something else. For example, okay, here. Let me show you this. Okay. Okay. So, for example, one recommendation I have for you, it's when you're writing down, when you're reading your passage, what do you have to try to look for? Try to concentrate yourself in noticing this. For example, the first two lines are always going to summarize the general idea of the entire passage. Try to make sure to understand them because they are going to somehow define the entire material of the passage, okay? Likewise, there is something else. What you have to take notes on, or what you should have prepared for you to write down, it's the arguments the passage presents. For example, in this case, it says, here, okay, wonderful. The euro, right? The important topic here is the euro. So how does the euro work? The euro works basically by all these things, right? There are three arguments. So this first argument, the one that is stated here, this is the one you should concentrate into, and this is the one you should take notes about. That is to say, when you are reading this, the thing that you want to do is go to your paper. I'm gonna take, for example, here, Brandon. Okay, I'm gonna go to my Google document and try to write down and think how I'm going to write down this in my essay. So you know that, for example, the first argument was about how the euro allows nations to be unified, right? So, for example, if that is the argument, try to think about how are you going to write it down in your essay. That is what you have to do in those 3 minutes, because those 3 minutes, I think that for most of you are too much. That is to say, you can finalize writing that material in a couple of minutes, and you have an extra minute in order to do what you should do. You should try to do this. Try to organize how are you going to write down those particular arguments. For example, in this case, if it talked about how this currency organized the entire European nations, you could write something like this in your paper, right? Not in the computer yet because you're receiving the material. You could write, for example, I'm going to write first the European, first, it is argued that the European nations have been organized through the euro currency. That will be your first sentence, right? When you're writing down your essay. So this is what if you have any extra time in the reading passage, this sort of things is what you should be trying to do. You prepare what you're going to write down in the essay itself. Because when the time arrives, when you have to write down, something that is going to happen to you is that you're going to begin to think, okay, so I have received this super long information, a lot of data. Now, how do I put it here? How do I transform it into my essay? So if you have this prepared, if you have a remaining time when reading the reading passage, what you should do is try to prepare these first phrases, and that way, when you are writing down your real essay, you're just going to go, okay, this is I wrote here in my notes what I have to write down. You write it down, and then you're going to be able to move way more comfortably throughout the essay because you know what to say at first, right? The first phrase is always the most difficult one, right? Even if we're speaking in Spanish, the first thing to say, the introduction, that is to say, the first thing we're going to do, that is always the most difficult one, right? So try to do that, okay? That is my recommendation, my final one, all right? So I'm going to take the assistance. Please pay attention, and also please respond to our daily poll as you consider it to be correct. Please, you're going to help me a lot. And then I'm also going to take your assistance. So please listen to your name. Okay, students inform. Okay, is it here Caballero Carlos Lopez?
Yes, teacher.
Thank you. What about Marines Genesis? Okay. Conicia Carolina? Not here. What about Marcillo Yandira Licit? No? Okay. Bonnie? Ugarte Bonnie? Okay. And finally, pues, Cárdenas Guzmán Claudia? What about Mamani Laura? No?
Present
And
teacher.
what about, oh yeah, thank you, Laura. What about Álvaro? What about Jessica Gutiérrez? Miguel Ángel Plata?
Present
Silva Plata?
teacher. Thank you.
Wonderful.
Yes.
Thank you very much. No, it's fine. It's fine. Okay, so thank you very much for your responses. And well, I see you this Monday. We're gonna continue with this writing section. Continue practicing. There you have the materials that I have mentioned to you, and I'm going to be sending you more, okay, to the WhatsApp group. So wait for it. Thank you very much for your presence. Okay, have a wonderful weekend.
Teacher, you said Monday or Tuesday?
Oh no, on Tuesday. On Tuesday. Yeah, on Tuesday.
Yeah.
Tuesday.
Yeah. Okay.
My bad. Don't worry. I mean, of course, on Tuesday. Okay, thank you very much.
Bye, teacher.
That's fine. Bye bye.
Teacher.
Bye, teacher. Bye.
Bye bye.